The fascinating story of Minecraft's creation. Imagine an ordinary day in Sweden in 2009. Markus Persson, known to everyone as Notch, is sitting in his room, surrounded by code and piles of blocks from a game that hasn't yet become world famous. This was Minecraft, the game that would forever change the industry. But how did it all begin? An idea out of nowhere. Markus Persson had loved playing games and experimenting with code since childhood. He worked as a programmer at King.com, but he couldn't shake off the dream of creating something of his own. One day, he came across a game called Untold, a simple blocky game where players could build and dig. Markus realized that this idea had immense potential, but it wasn't fully developed. So, he decided to take the basics of Untold, add more features, crafting, and exploration, and create his own world, a world where the player could do whatever they wanted. And thus, the first version of Minecraft was born. First steps: Alpha and Beta. The first version of Minecraft was released on May 17, 2009, and was available for free. Players could dig blocks and build simple structures. The graphics were minimalistic, and the world was made up of square blocks, a distinctive feature that became the game's trademark. But the game was constantly being updated. New biomes, mobs, and crafting capabilities were added. Players fell in love with this limitless world of possibilities, and Minecraft's popularity began to soar, founding Mojang and the rapid rise. Markus realized that the game had the potential to be more than just a hobby. In 2010, he founded Mojang along with his friends, Carl Manne and Jacob Porser. They started actively working on Minecraft, adding new features, modes, and fixing bugs. Players were captivated by the ability to build anything, from a small hut to massive castles. They began forming communities, servers, mods, and even their own game worlds. Minecraft turned into a phenomenon. Selling to Microsoft, the end of Notch's era. In 2014, something happened that no one expected. Notch announced the sale of Mojang to Microsoft for $2.5 billion. He felt he had lost control over his creation and decided to leave the gaming industry. Minecraft became part of Microsoft, but the game didn't disappear. On the contrary, it began appearing on consoles, received new updates, and even launched a special educational version, Minecraft Education Edition. Why did Minecraft become a phenomenon? Minecraft is not just a game. It is a world where anyone can be a creator, architect, or adventurer. There are no strict rules or scenarios, only boundless freedom and endless possibilities. And this is exactly what made Minecraft one of the most popular games in history. Thus, Minecraft transformed from a simple project by a Swedish programmer into a cultural phenomenon known by every gamer in the world.